Hey guys, we're looking at Talbot Author's Ridge today as the soap, Wolfman WR2, and the brush from APShaveCo with a SilkSmoke knot here, and the, what do they call it, a uBrush handle. And Talbot is a great base, and so I'm confident the performance is going to be good. And I probably won't like the synthetic knot. It feels like all the rest of them. It feels kind of light at first, and of course it's got these crazy soft tips that all of them have, just about. But it still has this backbone in the fibers. That's not like the motherlode knot that I do actually enjoy, but it's like all the rest of them: the Sinbad, the Cashmere, the Timber Wolf, the Plasan. That whole grouping all is just a little bit too springy and too much backbone for me. Now, is this a, I can't remember what this is. I think it might be an 80, 84, and 85. It'll be in the description accurately as the gap here for this Wolfman WR2. Interesting story behind the scent on this soap, and I'll get into that in a minute. I'm looking forward to telling you that the write-up that the author gives doesn't tell you much about the scent, but it does tell you how it came to be. So let's put the blade in the razor. I will be continuing on with my Nacet. I believe use number 443 might be this one. I lost my Sharpie, and so I have to find it, or use another one, and so my dots aren't exactly accurate, but the number on the description is. So here's my Nacet. We'll see how, this is a mild WR2. A lot of guys are liking those 105s and things like that. I tried the 95, and I still wished it was a little smoother for me, and then I found the 85 or the 84. And so I believe that's what this one is. And so I'm looking forward to, I'm enjoying playing around with different blades in it. And we'll see how the Nacet works today. I haven't tried this brush out yet. It's called the uBrush because you can have all kinds of customizations. You can get the one base handle and have different ferrules in different colors and have different knots on there. There's one customization. You can also buy several different choices in terms of the handle color and the ferrule color, so you can really customize it. Sometimes when a brush has this shape, I think that I like it, but then this waist is so small that it ends up wiggling around too much in my hand. However, the butt right here is kind of thick, and it seems like it when I first hold it, it's touching enough of my fingers on this back end here that it's given me good grip. And so I'm kind of looking forward to trying it out, and perhaps I've discovered one of these style handles that has a small waist, but I enjoy it anyway. When this part is small-ish as well, I mean, it's thicker than the waist, but when it's smaller than when you grab, then the brush just has room to kind of move around, and you have to then figure out a way to grip it better, and that usually doesn't, I don't enjoy that during the shave. Don't really have to worry too much about the soak cup today because of the synthetic. You're just kind of running underwater for a little bit. I've got my 40 milliliters of water in my jigger to add to the lather as we go, and I've got my 3D printed lather bowl today. Let me get my face wet. Now, before my little phone dies, I'm going to go ahead and read this description to you from the Try That Soap website about Author's Ridge. This is from the creator of the scent. Fall is my favorite time of year, and Sleepy Hollow Cemetery was dedicated on September 29th, 1855. It needed to be an autumn scent that captured the beauty of life as well as embraced the idea of death in nature. So I set forth an idea to craft a scent based on Emerson's dedication of the cemetery in 1855. Cemetery was created in and of the land it was dedicated on. It was not leveled or cleared of trees and shrubs that existed. Once I had the scent locked in, I created another based on a written description of the cemetery years later. Then I crafted a third scent, this time based on my personal experience at the cemetery. Finally, I gave the whole project one more scent, a fourth in the style of New England autumn leaves. After much back and forth, I was finally able to create one scent from the four. Can I describe it? I could tell you it's dark, it's spicy, not kitchen spicy, rather earthy spice, and it's unlike anything I've ever put my nose to. How about that? So dark and earthy spicy is kind of the scent notes we're given. Let's see, it smells nice from the tub. You do definitely get some woody notes in there. Not super dark. I do get some earthy spicy. All right, so let's go at it. I got the brush nice and wet. All right, so 20 seconds of loading probably will be good for this guy. Seconds there. And there we go, 20 seconds. There was a lot of lag with this brush. And so I don't think that it really kind of covered a lot around in the soap there. Probably be fine. All right, let's work in the bowl. I just chose 20 seconds because I thought that maybe the synthetic might pull up lather a little quicker than my usual. That's sometimes the case. 30 seconds is kind of my standard amount for new soaps. And judging from the thickness of this kind of concentrate here early on, I might have made a good guess. I can feel the backbone as I'm pushing down here. It actually makes kind of a jarring feeling on my bowl here. Now for people who are able to just do either painting strokes or circular strokes, then the whole issue that I have with synthetics is probably doesn't really apply to you. But I have to go back and forth at different times during my shaving because I have a goatee. Definite woody cedar. Yeah, cedar. Seems to be pretty clear that it's a conifer, mainly cedar. It's mainly what the primary note that's coming up. Occupado. It's okay. Good morning. Labor Day morning. Well, that lather just looks terrific. Yeah, let's add just a little bit more water. What have we added so far? About 19 milliliters. It's probably all I'm going to add. if you use really hot water on these bristles, on these synthetics, they will kind of warp because it weakens them and lets them be able to bend. And then when they cool down, they kind of keep that shape. So I definitely advise the use of just warm water to work with your brush instead of really hot. And that's applies to synthetics, of course, for this reason, but for other reasons, for animal hairs, really hot water can loosen the glue bump here at the core of the knot, and then over time the heating and cooling, expansion and contraction there due to that can cause hairs to come loose and have it to be have it to start shed on you. You don't want that. Well, this lather looks wonderful, creamy, kind of like marshmallow cream after it's all been melted. That's usually the way I like the way it looks, so we'll see if that's the performance. There are a few lathers out there I get to look the right way, and then they're too wet. All right, I have got my face wet again, and we're shaving off, I don't know, maybe 2 days of growth here with the family, and you know how sometimes family complicates things, gets in the way of our schedules. Now, we'll see how this knot does. The tips, of course, are luxuriously soft. I mean, just crazy soft. Can you see how it pushes my skin around like that? And so if I just work the tips only, it's not too bad. And it's fine if I'm doing this circular motion. But then when I switch to this going back, that conversion from one direction to another is kind of shovey. It's not fluid, not enjoyable, and that is why I don't like synthetics. I do also like natural brushes just for the pure reason of the fact that I believe it's more of a connection to our, the men in our shaving history. It's more of a natural connection to the earth and all that. Yeah, see the way can you even hear that? That's not flapping against the skin. That's the shifting of the bristles from one direction to another. Yeah. So, while I do seem to be enjoying this handle, I am not enjoying this knot. SilkSmoke, not any different from the rest, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I really can't tell. I wonder if there's a difference. I wonder if it's just a color difference between the Plisson type and the SilkSmoke and the Cashmere and the Timberwolf and all those things. All right, well, we've got a good lather. It feels great, feels creamy, feels really nice. It feels like I hydrated it perfectly. I've got plenty in the bowl, so I'm glad I just did the 20 seconds. All right, here we go. I said that it was a 2-day growth, if I did say that, because I'm probably going to get some tugginess here on the first pass, and indeed I am. The Nacet at this age, really anytime above 100, has preferred greatly a 24-hour growth and not skipping days. Very cedary. I mean, I'm sure there's more to it, but and maybe over time it'll change to something else, or it'll there'll be some nuance that kind of jumps out. But right now it's mainly just a cedar soap. Let's do a little partial rinse. just really looks wonderful and creamy. I'm curious, I might use this soap again and with an animal hair brush and see if the same texture lather is achieved. I would definitely have to change my shaving style, my lathering style, if I only had synthetics to use. I really do enjoy the display that you can get with a nice plush brush, and I would miss that. But I would still continue shaving this with this brush and soap method. I would definitely miss the good times of being able to have that nice bloom all spread open and kind of being all comfy on your face, feeling great. You know, the painting just doesn't have near the same skin feel. There is something in the scent more than cedar, and it's helping the cedar out to be something enjoyable, but it's still mainly just a cedar scent. The description is neat, but the scent kind of falls short of being all that interesting, at least so far. And of course, this is just for my nose. All right, let's load the brush up for the third pass. Yeah, the synthetic is very friendly during these types of passes because I'm not working the lather together anymore. One nice thing about the Talbot here is this nice pretty sheen that it gives you. Sheen is not something that you have to achieve with every soap, in my experience. Some of them just don't do it. I was talking with somebody on the comments just recently about that. Would be nice if you, for the certain soaps that do have that sheen, because wouldn't it be such a great indicator of when your lather was right? You just kind of keep adding water until the sheen kind of pops the way you like it. I think there are a few out there that do that. I'm going to do my kind of cross grain right there. And then let's just go ahead right now and do that kind of against the grain. Kind of finish everything up. Feeling pretty good. It definitely was tuggy on that first pass, but here with these strokes, this is where this mildness of this Wolfman really steps up, because that's what I need when I do this against the grain work. I need that low gap to be very smooth, and then I end up with a nice comfy pass like that, some good comfy against the grain work instead of being so rough and irritable. 20 seconds was pretty much right. This is what I have left in the bowl. Definitely enough for a pass, maybe 2 if I squeezed it out. Yeah, 2. Could definitely do that. And it's just a wonderful creamy lather. And I did enjoy the tips here during those times where I wasn't kind of working, you know, going one direction and then switching directions. You know, I did enjoy the tips. Now, while I've got a little moisture on my face here, I'm going to put on the Mountain Man by Stirling. Creed Silver Mountain Water is what this is based on. If you have dry skin, then, or sensitive skin, then maybe check out a balm. There's a good Nivea balm just at Walmart for about $5, $6. I think it's called Maximum Hydration. That one does a good job. Unless you're just severely dry skin, I think you need something a little stronger. CeraVe, I've heard it's very good for those with dry skin. Yeah, this smells nice. I think this is a good companion to Author's Ridge. It definitely is not in the same genre, but I think it flows pretty well to have that woodiness back up the kind of zestiness and lightness of this particular scent. So I think that'll be nice. And I'm kind of with family today as it's a holiday, and so I picked a scent that they like. It's definitely not a day to use Midnight Stag like I did in August. And then here's what this guy looks like after a good towel stropping, which is almost exactly how he looked before we started. That's normal. There are some people who press really hard into the bowl or on their face when they're working these synthetics, and so you'll start to eventually, especially if you use really hot water, you'll start to see a donut in the middle because it's just been splayed so hard. Now, I would say you're splaying too hard and you back off, and then you won't get that donut. But it's just a brush, and these synthetics are pretty cheap generally. And so if you want to splay that hard and make a donut, and then eventually when the donut gets big enough to bother you, you replace the brush. I mean, that's up to you, right? But that can be the cause of that, just pressing too hard. And there we go. So I did enjoy the handle. Really kind of surprised. I'm glad I bought it for that reason. Now I know that if I want to try this with another kind of knot in it, then I can. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. But the SilkSmoke does fail the Sugar Daddy test. It's not my style. I can see how other people would really enjoy it if you like high backbone, or if you only do the painting strokes, that sort of thing. Or if you like your lather really thick, because sometimes that thickness can hide the behavior of the brush. But since I like mine on the really wet side, those nuances stand out to be irritants sometimes. All right, well, very good. Yes, I believe the 19 milliliters is where we stayed, and that worked out to be a very, very nice mix in terms of water and soap ratio. So yeah, in the end, a little disappointed that the soap didn't develop too much more in terms of nuance. It could be something I could use more, and maybe something would start to come out, that I didn't perceive the first time. It happens that way sometimes, but mainly it's just a cedar scent with maybe some earthy tones there, and so I guess if you're into cedar, then this is money for you. Well, that's the shave for today. I hope that there's something in here to help you out. Talbot Wonderful Base continues to be one that I enjoy quite a bit. And, if I was stuck using this soap, I would enjoy it. The one nice thing I like about it is it's strong. You do definitely, you're enveloped in this kind of cloud of this cedar scent during your experience. So, I enjoy that. All right. Take care, guys. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Good night.